Hodgkinson, who talked about the world record in the 800 metres. And away we go. Shafika Maloney has been asked to go through halfway. But Hodgkinson now hits the front and accelerates down the back straight. And Broeders-Bol has got to watch this move. He's got to cover it. Keely Hodgkinson working really hard. Broeders-Bol coming back at her. This race isn't just won just yet. Coming back at her all the time, but Keely's got enough. Keely Hodgkinson gets the win. 1:56.21.
One track, two close friends, and a race nobody thought would come this early. One of the most surprising tales of Keely Hodgkinson's season was what happened at the London Diamond League in 2026. Keely Hodgkinson, the current Olympic 800-meter champion, was getting ready to race in front of an enthusiastic home crowd on Saturday, July 18th. Georgia Hunter Bell, one of her best friends and training partner, was initially scheduled to compete with her. In addition to being a buddy, Georgia is an Olympic medalist and one of Keely's fiercest competitors on the track. Almost every aspect of the two athletes' sporting journeys is shared. They work out side by side. They go on trips together. Every day, they put each other to the test. However, Georgia later became unwell. She had to withdraw because she wasn't well enough to compete. Suddenly, a spot in the lineup became available. And who intervened? Femke Bol is a Dutch woman. Yes, a good friend of Keely's. You are already familiar with Femke if you follow track and field. She has won 2 world titles in the 400-meter hurdles, one of the hardest and most taxing sports. However, this is when the narrative takes a surprising turn. Femke underwent a significant career change following the 2024 Olympics in Paris. She advanced to the level 800 meters, leaving the hurdles behind. That is twice the distance for which she was renowned. Thus, the London race was more than just a race. Keely and Femke faced off over the 800 meters for the first time. A home crowd is following every step of the first ever match between two close friends. In an interview with Olympics.com on Friday, July 17th, Keely discussed the significance of this special occasion for her. She thought back to her friendship with Femke, which started when they were both up-and-coming athletes. She was 21 when we first met, and I was 19. Since then, we've simply continued to communicate, Keely remarked. She was talking about a friendship that started years ago and has endured ever since. Despite not living in the same nation, the two frequently travel to the same locations for work. When they are in the same city, they make time to catch up and frequently attend the same training camps. We don't live in the same place, but yeah, we go on camp to the same places, so we always meet up for coffee or lunch and stuff, Keely said. We text quite a lot as well. In front of thousands of spectators, those close friends were now getting ready to compete over 2 laps. Femke's transition to the 800 meters has been a huge success. Although she hasn't participated in many 800-meter races this season, each one has been impressive. She placed second at the Paris Diamond League, behind Audrey Wero, a rising talent from Switzerland. It's interesting to note that earlier that month, Wero had defeated Keely at the Stockholm Diamond League. That added to the intrigue of the London showdown. Olympic silver medalist Tsige Duguma, emerging 800-meter sensation Femke Bol, and Olympic winner Keely Hodgkinson were all at the same starting line. Inside London Stadium, the famous site of the 2012 Olympic Games, 3 elite runners stood at the starting line. Take a look back at the 2024 Olympic final in Paris to understand why Keely is the favorite. In 1:56.72, she won gold, followed by Mary Morat in bronze and Tsige Duguma in silver. Femke is currently attempting to meet that Olympic winning standard. Keely grinned when asked about Femke's quick recovery. "She's built like a gazelle," she remarked. She's been in some really good races, in some pretty fast races. Keely also cited Femke's fierce rivalry with Audrey Wero in Ostrava and Paris, where multiple competitors ran times of 1:55 and 1:56. Keely was truly happy for her friend, even though they were enemies. "I'm pleased for Femke. She seems to be having fun, and I'm eager to see what happens next." Keely acknowledged that she had both successes and failures this season. Keely had a slight fall back in June, right before heading to the Eugene Diamond League in the United States. She severely scratched both knees, which made the lengthy flight across the Atlantic uncomfortable, even if it wasn't serious. It was undoubtedly not the ideal way to be ready for a big international event. Nevertheless, she came to London with a laser-like intensity. Her objective was to perform well in front of her home crowd, and she disclosed a significant aspect of her mentality. "I haven't skipped any instruction." Keely told reporters, "I feel pretty good. Since I have nothing to prove, I've simply released the strain on myself. Just because everyone else wants something to happen doesn't mean I have to pursue it." The message was very obvious. Keely isn't straining the occasion, despite the fact that many media and fans want her to chase world records. "I'm in really good shape and in a really good place," she replied. "I believe that great races are the source of fast times. It's fantastic if that happens tomorrow. I don't care if it happens in a few weeks or next year." What, therefore, was her sole objective in London? She made everything easy. "For me, it's winning and getting back on top, especially after the last couple of weeks, which have been a bit difficult," she replied. "I'll be concentrating on it tomorrow." For Keely, winning at home was more important than breaking records or making headlines. Her mind then went back to Georgia, her close friend who had to step back. Georgia is someone Keely trains with, depends on, and competes with, almost like an older sister. It was obviously disappointing to lose her in a hometown race. "I'm obviously gutted for Georgia not to be here because it's our hometown," Keely said. She was pretty depressed when she made that choice, but I believe she made the best choice for herself. She wasn't feeling good. The emotion behind such remarks is truly audible. This unique time in London was anticipated by two close friends who were training partners. Then, at the last minute, illness claimed one of them. For both athletes, that is challenging. However, Keely has always had a distinct perspective on competitiveness. She doesn't give the names next to her any thought. "For me, I've always just done my own thing," she replied. "I don't give a damn who's competing. They will either push each other or assist me in pushing." That's how a real champion thinks. Keely simply cares about racing her own race, her own way, at her own pace, regardless of who lines up or withdraws. Here we are then. Due to illness, one buddy, Georgia Hunter Bell, was unable to compete in the London event. Femke Bol, a friend, entered the competition to compete against Keely for the first time over 800 meters. Add Tsige Duguma, the silver medalist from the Olympics in Paris, and set them inside London Stadium, where thousands of spectators applaud each step. Keely is no longer under pressure. It's a huge challenge for Femke. Fans see it as the beginnings of an intriguing new rivalry based on a sincere friendship between two young sportsmen pursuing the same dream that began years ago over coffee, lunches, and numerous text messages. The moment the starter's gun sounds throughout London, two friends, one race, and a whole new chapter in the women's 800 meters begin.